Yeah,
This
yeah,
meeting is being recorded.
yeah. Hi, my name is Rahul Upadhyay. I have around 18 plus years of experience, mainly in the Java technology stacks for the enterprise engineering, cloud modernization, and digital transformation. So my technical stack includes all the Java, Spring Boot microservices, as well as the Angular front end, React, and Kubernetes, and then AWS clouds. So that is my whole technical stats that I used to. I'm working on it. And on the other side, I have also good knowledge about the team management, project management as well, and
Hmm.
agiles as
Okay,
methodologies.
very nice.
And yeah,
And
so
what is the latest version of Java that you have worked so far?
my latest work on the Java 11 most of the time, but I have
Okay,
also sometime I also work on Java 17 as well.
okay. And basics, of course, Java 8, correct?
Sorry.
Basics, you started with Java 8, or you did work with prior versions as well?
So when I started that time, the Java 5 was the most used, and then I moved into the 8, and then 11, and then 17 now.
Okay, very nice. Okay, very nice. So, did you use Java 17 features as well, or you just migrated to Java 17?
So there is no much Java 17 version we used. 17 is actually a long, what do you call, long stability version, I guess, LTS.
Okay.
So that's why we moved into the 17. So there is a one sealed class is there that
Mm-hmm.
we use little bit more. That so that we, other than that, actually no other major feature of the 17 we used.
Okay, awesome. And what is your contribution? How much you were involved into database, database side, like creating tables or maybe optimizing complex queries and all. What is your contribution on the database side?
So database side, we don't have any separate team. So we only
Okay.
actually manage the database
Wow.
designs and everything. So it's a full stack development. So front end, back end, and microservices, database, all things we take care of.
Very
So there
nice.
is no separate team so for that.
And any JMS you have used? Any what are the messaging services you have used so far?
Messaging services, I have used the Kafka. I have used the AWS Genesis services. I have used the RabbitMQ as well, and then MQ, IBM MQ. So
Okay.
those are.
So when you say Kafka, were you involved heavily into Kafka topics, consumer part, this, you know, consuming this course or producing this course or maybe setting up clusters? What exactly contribution you had in Kafka?
So Kafka we used many places, mainly in the Spring Boot services. Most of the time, notification we use for the providing the events for the multiple services. Like for example, we are doing some distributed transitions, right? Multiple
Mm-hmm.
transitions and services are involved. So we use the Kafka for the topic for that this kind of maintaining that what you call saga pattern for the distributed transitions. There we use a lot most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
or other than that event readings and these things actually we use the Kafka.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and how much you are involved into front end side? Like, what is your contribution on UI side?
So front end side, we most of the time we use the Angular. So I also work on the means hands on experience on the working on the Angular
So, what
part
was your
as well.
contribution? Like, what exactly you did?
So currently we have created a portal for that completely portal that has a user manager machine. A lot of things are there. All the features are there.
Mm-hmm.
So totally the Angular front end design and development. I'm involved in the both.
Okay. Nice. And any which container you have used so far?
Containerization. So okay, means I have worked on the Docker. I have worked on the Kubernetes, especially EKS,
Mm-hmm.
Elastic Kubernetes services, and
Mm-hmm.
also have the knowledge of the Cloud Foundry as well.
Okay, that's nice. Nice. I see you did work with data streaming things also,
Yes,
Apache Flink and Kafka. That's very nice.
yes,
And for caching, you use Redis, right? That is pretty
yes.
awesome.
That's right. Yes.
Um, and what are the no SQL databases you have worked so far?
So NoSQL database I have mainly worked on the AWS DynamoDB, but I also do knowledge of the MongoDB as well. So these are the
Great,
two
great.
database
And I
monosql.
see you did get some certifications on AI, decision making and all. MIT
Yeah,
professional
so I have
education.
also, yes, so I have the technical side. I have the mainly three type of certificates. One is that Java programmer certificate that I used did for a long time back, and then
Mm-hmm.
recently I did two certificate. Last year I did that AWS Architect Associate Certificate, that is for the AWS Cloud, and then the another one I did for the MIT Professional Educations, that is for the mainly data science and what it all AI actually main on those things.
Okay. Yeah, I think I remember the conversation that I had. I have already noted down. We'll have that discussion later towards this call. So, since you mentioned that you did work heavily on Java, Java 8, Java 11, Java 17 as well.
Mhm.
So, help me out to understand like what are the major features that you have used in Java 8?
Java 8 was the one of the most stable version actually for the long time we used, right? So Java 8 at that time there are many features came like the packaging concurrency packages was improved a lot, and then after that what you call the interfaces has been changed. The default method were added there, and also means there are that lambda was
Lambda expression.
lambda expression was and added that time. So there
Okay.
are many features like, yeah,
Excellent. So tell me one
yeah,
thing, if you have
themes
an
as well.
employee list which has multiple, okay, so an employee list containing email column which has duplicate emails, right? So what is
Mhm.
the syntax that you are going to use to filter out that duplicate values in your streams? What syntax you are going to write in your streams?
So there are duplicates are there, right? So
Correct.
okay, fine. So if I have that, then I will use the dot streams, and then dot I will map and uh, or sorry, collection collect as set, I guess we can use it, because set automatically filter it out if there are duplicates one. If you want to remove the duplicates some particular based on the objects, then we need to use the predicates. Then I need to use
Correct.
the filter and then predicate I need to use it to
100%.
pull it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
You're right. So, have you ever implemented any kind of, have you ever implemented singleton thread safe
yeah.
singletons in Java?
So singleton classes mainly used when we only want the single object, right? So most of
Mm-hmm.
the time nowadays, actually, it is provided by the Sprint boot directed as via the dependency injections.
Mm-hmm.
So nowadays we don't write it, but I know how to write it. If you want to write the singleton function, right? So then we need to do what only one thing, that we need to create the constructor private.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and then we need to only expose that what you call get method
Okay.
to instance. There you can only check if the instance is there, then return it. If not, then you need to call the constructor private constructor inside the method and then generate it and return it. So
Okay.
that is the
Well,
way you can create a Skeleton class.
okay. Have you ever used any enums so far, or maybe if you can tell me features of enum?
Enum is it's for example, me uses enum many times when you have that you need to use some variables or numbers are together, like for example switch cases and this one, right? There you can use it. For example, I have some days and numbers are for this, like Monday I can give the one, Tuesday
Mm-hmm.
two. So these kind of
Excellent.
mappings I have, then
Excellent.
there
Yeah.
I can use it the
Excellent.
enums.
And how do you manage? How do you manage memory transactions, or I would say, how do you do memory management in Java?
Memory management in Java, we have the heap memory, right? So
Correct.
that right. So what when you said the memory management means we what is your exact questions? If you explain me, then I can tell you in more. Means
So my simple question is that memory leakage, memory management.
mhm.
You
Yeah.
you
So
understand,
if
right?
in yeah, I got your point. So if you want to know about that, how we do then we actually take a memory dump, right, through the JMap, and then sorry JMap for the thread dump. There we can check actually if you find any memory leakage are there. There we
Mm-hmm.
can check it. So that's
Okay.
how it
Okay.
is.
And how do you differentiate in between double equals and equal methods?
Double equals is used only for the mapping the references, and equal method is actually tied with the hash map contract. So equal method you can actually override it and make your own what you call logic there. But
Mm-hmm.
there you need to also override the hash map. But equal double equality is just matching the references
Got
objects.
it. Got it. Uh, I have one quick question. Going back to that thread safe singleton and all. So array list is thread safe or not?
Array list is not thread safe. Vector is a
S-
thread safe.
So how will you make array list thread safe?
So there is a vector you can use it instead of the thesis array list. Or if you want to use the make the array list itself a thread safe, then you need to use the synchronized uh,
Okay.
for that.
Okay. Okay. Got it. How do you design and implement your REST API?
So REST API mainly we use the Spring Boot services. So in
Mm-hmm.
Spring Boot we can create it. So if you want, I can tell you all the steps I
Yeah,
can
just
use for
steps,
the.
just
Okay.
major steps.
Okay. Okay. So first, if I need to create a what you call a REST service, my REST Microsoft services from the Spring Boot, then the first I will use the some build tool kind of, for example, Maven or Gradle. I can use it for the add the dependencies for the sprints, like for the web dependency I need it. So once it is done, then I will create a main class for that with annotations that uh, uh, sprint applications, and then
Mm-hmm.
the first class will be my the controller class. Okay, in the controller class with
Exactly.
the annotations with the rest controller. Okay, and
At the rate
in
REST controller. Yeah.
at the rate, yes, rest controller, that will be my annotations. And then I can define multiple methods like get mapping at get mapping for the get, at put
Basically,
mapping for the
you're
put.
talking about your
Yes,
CRUD operation that you will be performing. Yeah,
yes,
I
yes.
understand. Yeah.
Yes, and then once it is then I can create my service class, my configuration class. Like for example, I'm connecting some databases or what you call some creating with the JMS user and queues. Then I those beans can be created in the configuration class. And once the service class is there, and the service class there, if I'm doing, for example, some database operations something, then I create my own entity class and do that what you call JPA class, and then based on that I can do that further. So that's
Got
how
it.
it is.
So, and how will you secure your API in this situation?
Yeah, for security, right? We can do there are multiple methods. One is the main is that web security I guess web security configure a class that we need to extend it. So there are two methods. One is the configure. One there actually you can extend like what kind of request when you get it. Then you can find the pattern matching, right, right, and request and the pattern matching. That you can use what are the URLs you need to permit or authenticate it. And there are multiple ways to authenticate it. First, like for example, you are doing for the user basic authentication with username passwords as well. That is for the login user, a user to service interactions.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, if you want to do the API calls, that means API to API, then you can give the API you can use as well. You can create your own what you call one message per what you call filter actually, and there you can use the API key if you want to do that. Other than that, you can use the if what you call you can use auto call the auto servers as well, or
Mm-hmm.
you have the API gateway, then you can call the what you call the API gateway as well. Through the you can use what you call uh, JWT tokens and
JWT tokens, yeah.
yeah,
So, have
those
you
we
ever
can.
configured these JWT tokens from scratch, or
Yes,
it? Okay, that's very nice to
yes,
hear.
I did actually. I implemented entire the what you call Sprint Cloud Gateway actually. That time
Mm-hmm.
I detailedly worked on that
Okay. So,
JWT tokens.
have you ever done SSL certificates as well? Have you ever implemented this part?
So SSL certificate, yes, I implemented means long time back. Nowadays, actually, there are a lot of the indirect services, right? In
Mm-hmm.
that cloud services and there what your Cloud Foundry and then EKS. That there you don't
Mm-hmm.
need to much bother about it. But the earlier actually we used to do that when we have the certificate, right? TSL one or those certificates we need to add into the key stores.
Mm-hmm.
And once you add into the key stores, and then you need to give it to the environment variable path. Then you can actually add the certificates. That is
Very
the
nice,
basic way
very
to.
nice. So now I would like to talk about on database side. So to begin with, you have a complex query or maybe stored procedures already written. What are the steps
Mhm.
you take to optimize?
So optimal first I need to analyze it actually.
Mm-hmm.
what and based on that, how many means analyze it, then I try to understand. Mainly whenever I need to do that, optimize that query, first things I need to understand how many joins are there, how many nested queries are there. Usually
Agree.
those are most important, right? If they are nested query, then there is a there could be chances we can actually optimize further. Also I need to see the how many indexes are there, and based on the indexes we can actually, if not, then maybe we need to add more indexes, and then that is the start actually. How can we do the
Mm-hmm.
optimization? We can break the queries as well. So
Very nice.
that's how.
So, what are the basic aggregate functions that you have used while writing your SQL statements?
Aggregate functions, there are a lot of aggregate functions like count, average, min, max, all are
Mm-hmm.
distance. There are a lot, not
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
are many
Yeah.
many aggregate functions I've used with
Correct.
the having or group by as well.
So now going back to the same previous question that I did ask about list of employee which has duplicate email addresses in that
Mhm.
list, you need to write a SQL statement where you just need to find out or print those repeated values. I do not want you to print distinct value because simply you can use distinct in your SQL statement. It will give you the table which has different values.
Mhm.
What I'm saying is you just need to print out those values which are repeated in that table. What syntax you are going to write?
Repeated.
Repeated. Just print out repeated values.
Repeated, I am not sure, but I can inner join. I can try for
Yeah,
that
yeah,
to map
you
it.
can just use your common logic.
Mm.
I am sure that
Yeah.
you will be able to answer.
So in that repeated means I never done that way. So what if you want, right? Mm, so only we need to filter out what are the values are repeated in there
Repeated,
in
correct.
the column. Yeah, so in that case, I can use the inner join on the same table. Self join is also told. So for example, the values, right? Select star from the value
Mm-hmm,
where that what you call in inner join on the same table,
mm-hmm.
uh, and yes, where the both columns name, like for whatever the columns I'm, and then for column A equal to the same column B. So in that case, all the values will be the same. I
Okay.
guess that, yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah, so basically you took an option to use this inner joins and all, but this can be also done using subqueries, right? So yeah, you can find it out
Oh,
after this call.
yeah, yeah,
So
yes.
anyways, you are on the track. Tell me one thing. When do you What is the difference between having clause and where clause? I mean, you can give me an example
Yes.
when you will use where clause, when you will use having clause.
So having clause is mainly used with the group by, and
Exactly.
whenever you use the having clause and a group by, you need to use the aggregate function with it. And yes,
Correct.
and where, yeah, and where clause is actually simple. Where clause is that give the conditions, right? Where what you want to filter out based
Hmm.
on that.
Hmm. So what if I use in my table delete, truncate, drop? What are the different operations will be performed
So if I do the delete, then delete is usually delete the rows one by one, right? Whatever you give based on the queries, and whatever the
based on the
truncate
condition?
actually based on the conditions, and the truncate actually completely emptied the table, delete the template, and recreate it. So that is
Correct.
faster, but it's dangerous, right? You will drop the entire table. And drop is completely drop and delete the entire
Schema
tables
will be
without
deleted.
actually one.
Correct. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you are absolutely right. So what is the use of indexing? Why do we use indexing? How does it help
In
in querying optimization?
So indexing is actually internal sequencing of that particular tables, right? To find the data faster. So that is the indexing is used for that. For example, one of
So
the
basically, it
columns, right?
enables your searching. That's what you're saying.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
those are the indexing. Yes,
Correct.
correct.
100%. Any Linux command you have used so far? Linux, Unix, basic command, maybe during deployment, development, troubleshooting, monitoring. Any
Yeah,
basic
so I
Linux or
know.
Unix command?
Yeah, since my start of the career, right, I use a lot of the time. We need to use the Linux or Unix commands. Like
Mm-hmm.
I start from the basic, like CD command for the change in the directory, then
Change in the
top CP
directory.
command for the
Mm-hmm.
top link, right, and
Mm-hmm.
then MV for the renaming, and then if you go mkdir for the creating the directories, and then we'll go
Mm-hmm.
further. Then grep command is actually for the searching something, and then
Mm-hmm.
find also can be used. And also if you want to actually what it pipe that commands multiple, for example, you want to
So
pass
when
the
do
one
you
value.
use chmod?
Ch mode is actually used for the changing the permissions, actually changing
Exactly.
the permission of the file.
100%.
Ch
Yeah.
mode.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
so
So Rahul, help me out to understand one thing. Uh, I think I'm pretty much sure that your database part is clear, your Linux commands are clear, your backend core Java concepts are clear. Do you have anything in pipeline, any final round of interview or anything that you think can, uh, stop you to join Bank of America? Any hindrance you see joining Bank of America?
not as of now, means I'm giving the interviews, but nothing in on my hand right now,
Okay.
because
And how is your
yeah.
priority? Like, how are you going to choose and decide to accept an offer? Meaning, what are the factors that you will look into? First come, first serve, or how will you decide?
So the biggest advantage I wanted to work with you is that it's in the Charlotte.
Okay.
Means I'm giving the other options, but currently I'm based out in Charlotte, so I don't need to move anywhere. So that
Okay.
is the biggest advantage I see, that I want to work with the Bank of America.
Okay.
So
So, have you also, are you also working with other vendors who are supporting Bank of America, or it is just Innova
no, no,
Solutions?
no one.
Okay. So tell me one thing. I have just one coding question. You don't need your pen and paper for to answer this. You have two
Mhm.
numbers. A equals to B, A equals to 5, B equals to 3, right? You need to swap these
Mhm.
two numbers without using any third variable.
Okay, I did it then long time back. So
It was
it's
your
kind of.
college kind of,
Yes, yes, yes. So it was exactly. I don't remember. Maybe I need to. But it was like I guess a equal to a plus b, and then b equal to a minus
yeah,
b,
I
and
got it.
then
The arithmetic operation you're going to perform.
yes,
I
yes,
That
yes,
is the reason I said you don't need pen and paper, just common logic. I
yeah,
just wanted to see how you approach. Okay.
yes.
So I think we are good, Rahul, probably. And what is your
Mhm.
interview availability? When do you think you will be available for an interview?
I can give the interview tomorrow itself.
No, I heard that you are going to office 5 days in a week, or how is the arrangement?
3 days, 3 days,
3 days.
3 days,
So, and what
3 days.
are those days?
Usually Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
So Monday, Friday, you are available every day, every week, right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
So probably either Friday, upcoming Friday, I will be setting up your interview, or maybe for Monday for sure. Okay.
Okay, okay,
And
all
also,
right.
Rahul, let me just stop the recording. I just want to talk something off the record.